Okay, we're in the front yard where the hedge, the ficus hedge is. And it's pretty healthy that way, towards the driveway. That's the driveway gate. This is our walk-through gate through here. And then down here it's struggling. You can see even the height difference, like it's grown a lot through here and then it stepped down. It's had very little growth through here. And if we go around to the other side, this is what we've been concerned about. It's getting very thin and woody and not very green. It's kind of a big hole right here. And we definitely don't want the hedge to die because it's such a nice feature in the front of the house. But all through here, we've been giving them more water. But today the horticulturist told us that it actually has a fungus problem, which is fixable. And she thinks all this can fill in again and look, the same as down here, which is really good news. Yeah. I don't remember everything she said, but she was kind of showing us the way this wood is. This is like a black mold. Not the kind in the house, but a different kind of mold. And then these trees have feeder roots, like very shallow roots here, which is indicative of a problem. Always got a little root there. Little root. You want to touch again? Yeah. So that's not typical. That indicates there's a problem. So we think we can fix this. It'll be lush and full again. A couple things: treating the infection, feeding them, and also right now we have these bubblers that are in a little kind of bowl where the water collects around the tree so it can sink down. Because the roots, she told us, the roots go as deep as the tree is tall, but they also spread out in many directions and can go pretty far. But there's a deep root watering system that would be way better for the trees, and they'd be very healthy for a long time to come. So we'll get a quote from Elvis to install that. We have that in the backyard when we did the new landscaping around the bocce court, that deep water system. It just gets the water straight down to where it needs to be, next to a tree. So we'll get this hedge fixed. So all along this wall, here's the wall that's falling down. You can kind of see this. This is one of the more obvious areas. It's split.
Separating more than it was before.
You can see, this piece of the wall is going that way. The whole wall is going this way. And these are all roots from previously. We had pyracantha bushes here, and these are all the sprinklers that used to be here that we've capped off since nothing's here. One theory also is these were probably drinking that water. When the hedge got water, the roots probably reached that far. And when we took this hedge, all these dead plants out and capped the sprinklers off, it reduced the water here because they were drinking everybody else's water, which could be a reason it's so healthy over here. Another reason, because we water the grass, so this piece of the hedge can get grass, water from the grass, and we were still watering these plants on the wall because they hadn't all died yet, although these have died now. We're down to just a couple. We kind of like these bushes. Pyracantha, they get these orange berries. They have really nasty thorns. So it's a good security bush, but they're very finicky. They die like this. So what we want to do is rip all of this out, all the way down, all the old roots, dig it all out, rip up all the irrigation that's there, and then whatever we decide to plant, maybe it's just periodic plants that would grow up higher than the wall, or little trees, you know, every so often. We'll figure it out, but we'll plant something here, and we'll plan the irrigation to be appropriate. It was cool when we bought the property because, you know, looking in this direction, you had this tall hedge here, and you had another hedge here, which was these plants. And it was just kind of neat to walk down this corridor between, you know, a hedge path. It just kind of had a cool feeling. So.
And then this is the, this is what, 3 feet right now?
Oh yeah, so the wall is 3 feet now.
So 4.5 feet is like here?
4.5 feet's probably up to your shoulder.
About to my shoulder. So we can make it this height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to figure out what we want to do with the gate.
Actually, we could.
Because these pillars, you know, if we made the wall taller, the pillars would have to get taller. We weren't planning to replace the pillar, but maybe we can build on top of it. We could take like the top layer of bricks off and then build new bricks. They're gonna try to match this old style. I guess these kind of bricks are still available. It might be hard to see. So this is bigger than a brick that you'd see on a house. It's kind of as long as a cinder block, but maybe only half as tall as a cinder block. A cinder block would be bigger. But the old properties in the neighborhood all around Palm Springs have these like kind of big bricks. And then there's sort of a stucco finish on here. Really rough, not smooth like our neighbors. I don't know if you can see over there. Our neighbors have like really smooth walls. So that's not what we're going for. But you know, they've got green stuff growing on this wall. That green stuff's called calendra. It gets some cool red puffy flowers. You know, their whole wall over here is just like covered in this green that's growing. We have that growing on our back wall, and it's doing really well. So we could have it growing on this wall. You know, as we walk down here, we should plant something on the inside of the wall, and we'll figure out what that is, and we'll fix the irrigation to be appropriate for that. And similarly, this side wall, we tried to plant little ficuses, but they didn't last. The irrigation's not really quite right for them either. But all the way down this wall, I mean, this wall could be green the same way our neighbor's wall is green. We could put calendra on the wall, and it grows really well. So you can see, I mean, that's a wall, but it's got calendra growing on it. And it's got nice red flowers a couple times a year. So we'd probably like to redo the gate. We can get a quote for that. I'm sure it's not cheap. So we'll have to think about it. I mean, it would be nice to redo the whole pathway from the front door to the street. Yeah. So we have like a cement pad here, and then it transitions to just a couple stepping stones in the dirt. So this is, you know, what the approach to the house looks like. It's like dirt with some broken flagstone. That could be improved. And then it, you know, then we've got the cement, and then we've got this kind of red stamped concrete. It's made to look like brick. That's something we'd like to fix eventually, especially for weddings. Like, probably people will be coming through the front gate, through the house. So having this look nice, a nice entry would be a good idea. And then around here, just to show what it looks like. So here's our rolling gate. Here's our, kind of like these lamp posts, how these are on just on the top of the pillar, and then you got a little post. That's kind of nice. We might do that at the walk-through gate. So we replaced this little piece of wall, that piece of wall. You can see these poles are holding it up. They've, you know, the wall's been falling for a while, I guess. So somebody put these metal poles in the ground, filled them with concrete. You can see there's a crack here that somebody tried to patch. It's leaning pretty hard. I don't know if that's easy to see. But these poles, maybe we make these pillars a little taller. You know, if the wall is going to be a foot taller, maybe they can be a foot taller too. Put the poles on, something like that. And then get the same pole over here, because this is a different design. So we've got this whole metal structure. I mean, it matches the rolling gate, but we could just put these lights on poles, the same as the driveway. I mean, here's like another gate idea. This is kind of nice, our neighbor. So they just have pillars like we have, and they have like sort of a rounded door. So maybe we can look for something like that. They've got a nice rolling garage door. I'll get a close up on these calendras that I'm talking about that can grow on the wall. So I mean, it's kind of like a hedge, but these get covered in red flowers. Hillary can stand next to the post. So this is a 5.5 feet probably.
Yeah.
So a 5.5 foot post, and I guess a 4.5 foot wall, or 4 foot wall back there. The other thing is the calendra really likes direct sunlight. So facing south, you know, the sun is south and it hits this hedge all day. So it grows really well and it gets flowers often. And so if we put that on our wall, we get the same result. Because you can see the hedge, the sun gets over the hedge. So this wall is in the sun all day long, facing south. So we could have a really good result with something like that calendra. Or maybe break it up, do, you know, some calendra and then a tree and some more calendra and then something else, you know, mix it up, keep it interesting. We can explore those options. There's just another look at our rolling door. So this kind of peaked design that goes up to a point. You know, that's the same as our gate. So there's a little theme. I mean, it's kind of Gothic looking. I wouldn't describe that as like a Spanish looking gate, but it works. It's okay for now. It's not a priority to change, but maybe one day we'll get a different gate. Anything else, Hel?
I think that's it.
See you later.
Bye.